Ooh, what a day in the market we have. Today is April 6th, 2022, and not looking the hottest, to be honest. We got Bitcoin at 43,000, testing that 42 key support level area. Ethereum at 3177, Terra Luna at 109, following its massive rally the last week. Solana at 113 and Avalanche at 82. So some good buying prices out there if you want to buy at support of 42,000 for Bitcoin. So what are we going to talk about today? We have some exchanges for beginners that we're going to talk about, the different kinds of wallets you can get, custodial versus non-custodial, and proper ways to hold your crypto. Also, some news on bridging. That's a big topic that's going to be around for the next few years, and who can be the biggest in total bridge volume. You'll have to find out on my opinion and what we're going to see in the next 2 years for bridging. And we have Jake, as always, covering the news around the blockchain. So let's get this shit started. Remember, friends, everything we say is non-financial advice, and please don't hold us accountable for your own investment decisions. Thank you.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mr. News with your lightning crypto news tonight on the Curds Crypto Podcast, which, by the way, is most likely going to be rebranded pretty soon. It's a little bit of a revamp in terms of the name and the brand that we're trying to do. We're going to see how it goes. It may or may not happen, and we'll see you guys next week about it. But regardless, welcome to Lightning Crypto News. The first thing that we're going to talk about here is the fact that the reason that Bitcoin, Ethereum, and the market as a whole tanked today, and by today I mean Wednesday because we record this one day before when we release it on Thursdays, Wednesday here, is that the Fed was looking to shrink their balance sheet by $95 billion a month, which kind of hurts a lot of different segments in the financial market, and that does not exclude crypto. So there's going to be some regulation surrounding crypto as well. It got a little hawkish in terms of what they were talking about and how they were going to come down on it. Hopefully it's not too much. It's kind of up in the air because they didn't release a lot of information on it. So we'll see what happens with that. Regardless, though, moving on to other news segments here. So Visa and MasterCard are planning to onboard millions into NFTs in 2022 here. That is their goal. That is one of their main goals that I've read about, that I've heard about multiple times, is that they're going to onboard people for that. The SEC wants crypto entities to disclose how many digital assets they hold and what the fuck they do with them because of the SEC, and they want to know everything that's going on financially. Jack Dorsey, which is obviously the big Twitter boy, met with congressional Democrats about Bitcoin last week to discuss, the utility behind it and what the future outlook is for crypto as a whole. February saw the largest number of project fundings to date in the space, which is crazy because there are so many projects that came out in literally the last year that it's wild that February 2022 is the one that had the largest number. Citibank, which is obviously a bank, says that the metaverse is potentially a $13 trillion opportunity for different companies in relation to them jumping into the space as a whole. US Bank says that by 2030, the user base for the metaverse could be up to over 5 billion people. I can't even believe that they said something like that. 5 billion people. How many people are in the world? About 8 billion?
Something like that.
Yeah, that's like over half of the people in the world, and they're saying in less than 10 years, most of those individuals are going to be integrated into the metaverse somehow. So lots of big financial entities are quite bullish on the metaverse at this point in time on 4/6/22. Permissionless, I've talked about this before, but Permissionless is the Blockworks event that's going on between May 15th and May 17th. There's going to be over 5K people there to celebrate DeFi, NFTs, and the metaverse with over 120 speakers. You could actually, if they still have them up, they may have a few, but you can mint a lifetime pass currently on their website as an NFT, and you gain access to a variety of different perks, including skipping the lines for literally everything if you own them. They're called, Permies, and it's 555 of them, and they cost 1.11 Ethereum, which in the downtrend of the market here is probably worth it. Samsung partners with Nifty Gateway, which is Gemini's NFT exchange, to launch the first ever smart TV NFT platform. I don't exactly know what that means. I kind of looked into it, but there wasn't a lot of news on it. It just literally took me to 3 different pages that said the exact same thing. So I don't know anything behind that. It's probably slightly up in the air, but it's interesting that Gemini was able to partner with somebody as big as Samsung over something like that. So I have a list of fast food chains joining the metaverse here, and I'm just going to list them off. So fast food chains planning to join the metaverse: KFC, Wawa, don't know what that is, never heard of it, only one I don't know, Arby's, Hooters, Chipotle, Wendy's, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut, Flavortown, Burger King, McDonald's, Jimmy John's, Panera Bread, Panda Express, Dunkin' Donuts, Baskin Robbins, and Buffalo Wild Wings. I mean, there's big names on there. Like I said, the metaverse is going to be kicking off here pretty soon in the next couple years. Intel unveils a new energy-efficient mining chip for mining Bitcoin because before theirs sucked ass, so they decided to make a new one that is a lot more efficient in terms of the energy consumption. A lot of companies are seemingly trying to do that in terms of the energy consumption because Bitcoin and Ethereum take a shit ton of energy to actually mine. Elon Musk, I have mentioned him in the past, and a lot of us know who he is, if not the majority of you that I'm probably speaking to, the 4 or 5 people that are listening, understand who Elon Musk is. Joined the board of directors for Twitter, now owns 9.2% of the stake in Twitter, so he is a partial owner that way. Amazon is looking to hire both Web3 and blockchain experts to work with crypto startups in relation to their companies so that they can onboard into the space. Bitcoin is starting to be used as collateral for physical assets in the real world. Obviously, physical assets, real world, that's kind of a given. But for example, real estate, there was some real estate that was sold for about $500,000 plus, and they were using Bitcoin as collateral. A lot of places are allowing you to use Bitcoin as collateral for loans as well now too. The UK Treasury is creating an NFT that is related to the Queen. Am I stupid? UK is with the Queen, right? Yeah, I'm not stupid. Okay. They're looking to create an NFT that represents the Queen and the symbol that the Queen is to the people in the UK. They're also going to be recognizing stablecoins as a valid form of payment. So T. Rowe Price Survey. I don't know who T. Rowe is, but I've seen the name Rowe before, and it sounds important. But what T. Rowe is a global investment management firm. They took a survey, and they said that 40% of kids, quote unquote, I'm going to say people that are between the age of 18 and 20, think crypto is the future of investing. And of course, the generation in terms of the 18 to 20-year-olds, they obviously love crypto a lot more than stocks because stocks take forever, and crypto is a lot faster in terms of how it moves and what's happening in the space, and it's volatile. So that instant gratification and that lack of attention span that they have makes for a match made in heaven. 1 out of 4 millennials have started using crypto to fund their retirement. The Tennessee Titans, the NFL's, it's an American football team for those that aren't in America. The Tennessee Titans are going to be the first NFL team to accept Bitcoin as a form of payment for tickets, concessions, merch, and etc. On April 6th to April 9th, so that is today starting, over 500 sponsors for the, what's it called, the Bitcoin thing in Miami, Florida. What's the fucking name of it? Bitcoin convention in Miami, Florida. There's over 500 sponsors, all of which you can see on their website, and there's some pretty fucking good ones out there. There's major speakers from all over the space as a whole, from DeFi to NFTs to a variety of different projects and major influencers that are currently integrated into the space. It's quite the packed schedule. Seems a little excessive, but it looks like it's going to be a lot of fun, especially because there are a lot of after parties. So there's also opportunities for different NFT art galleries. There's something called the Bitcoin Bazaar. Like I said, there's after parties that are, which obviously are after whatever they have. There's, different speakers and artists that are playing, like Logic. There's dedicated days to things like Pitch Day, which is for next-gen startups, or like Open Source Stage, which is contributing to open source projects as a whole. And you can go to any of those at any time based on the schedule that they have, the things that you're interested in, and I think that's really cool. What's the buy-in for that you could have even had? What was the price of one ticket nowadays?
I think it was like around $200.
Yeah, so it was around $200. Could be completely wrong on that for the weekend, but it's from April 6th to April 9th, so if you're not already there, you're probably not going. But it's something to look forward to in the future as a whole for the space, because there's going to continue to be a variety of, they release a lot of new stuff.
They showcase a lot of new shit.
They showcase new stuff. They go over different projects, like I said, that are already integrated to the space and are up and coming, and it's an overall supposed to be a really good time.
Last year, El Salvador
came out with the fact that they were going to use Bitcoin as a legal tender in their country, but the CEO of El Salvador, or the president of El Salvador, actually backed out of the conference last second today, so he is not going to be there. I do not know the exact reasons why, but that was some news that came out. So that is the Lightning Crypto news. Thank you for listening to me ramble on about, the space and what that is. Hopefully you learned something. We're going to move on. We're going to talk about exchanges. We're going to talk about wallets and bridges. Let's get this shit started. If I can turn it off. Tonight on the Curds Crypto Podcast, you get to listen to me once again after the news to talk to you about exchanges. So we're going to go over some beginner exchanges for those that might not know a lot about the crypto space. Part of the reason why we wanted to do a podcast was to create something that allowed people to understand crypto in a little bit easier way. A lot of the podcasts out there, I really feel kind of overload you on information and make it difficult to understand with all the buzzwords. So we're going to try and do what we set out to do and really onboard some new users to the space as a whole by making it a little bit easier to understand. So exchanges are pretty easy to get on as a whole. You enter information just as you would for like opening a bank account. They ask for your social, they ask for all that. So that they know that you are who you are. You do some identification, verification stuff in relation to like your driver's license or whatever form of, identification that you have available at the time. They allow you to use other stuff to make sure that you are who you are. It's not any different, like I said, than opening something like a bank account. So in terms of actually getting through the process, it's not difficult. But actually learning to use it and things like that, very similar to, a stock exchange like Robinhood or like TD Ameritrade. In that sense, I think it's a lot closer to Robinhood than TD Ameritrade, but, it's a horse apiece if you know how to use those. Now, if you're not involved in any of that, then obviously you're going to need to kind of learn how to use it. There's plenty of things out there on like Coinbase, which is an exchange that I'm going to talk about here that you can learn from and how to actually use things in relation to the space as a whole. So I recommend them because I have learned from them. I have gone through things with them. And then actually Gemini has a lot of nice videos and, readings as well for you to kind of sift through and learn about the space if you're just trying to get your feet wet. Let's go with the beginner exchanges and kind of what they offer here. So I'm going to talk about Crypto.com first. Crypto.com offers a variety of different things, just like every exchange that I'm going to go through here. But if you hold CRO, so CRO, which is their native token, you get between 1% and 8% CRO back on any purchase that you have for the CRO card that you get, which is powered through Visa, by the way. A lot of these cards that are going to be on these exchanges are powered by both Visa and or MasterCard, which is, really nice to see some of the bigger, credit card or debit card companies, financial companies out there backing them on this. But you get between 1% and 8% CRO back on your purchases. You get big rewards related to streaming services, a variety of different streaming services. For example, they'll pay for your Netflix. If you hold a certain number of CRO, they'll pay for Hulu if you hold a certain number of CRO. And also travel and merchandise. Their travel and merchandise rewards for their large holders specifically Like I said, it ranges from 1 to 8%. The more you hold, the better rewards you get. And travel and merchandise is kind of dope for what they offer, but you have to hold like over 50,000 crow, which is, kind of a hard buy in that way. But they do offer stuff for people that are just, buying in at smaller amounts as well, which is cool. Crypto.com, that's the one that I just went through. They also offer NFTs. So Voyager, this is one that I personally use quite often. The only problem with Voyager is that it's mobile only, which means there's nothing as a desktop application that you can use, so you just have to use it on your phone. It's pretty fast, though, in the transactions. It's fairly quick in transferring your funds. It gives you instant deposits as well. So if you transfer $500, it gives you $500 automatically. And you can buy anything you want at any time. Like, you can deposit the money and buy something right away. I've done it plenty of times myself. You do not have to wait for your deposit to go through to purchase something. You can just do it right away, which is a benefit, in my opinion, for it. It has fantastic APY on several well-known tokens across the board. So you probably won't know these, but DOT, first of all, is the one I'll talk about. DOT gives you 12% back per year if you hold DOT on Voyager, which is, that's a lot. That's, 12x from the traditional bank account. DOT is a layer 1 0, so it has a lot of utility in relation to the space as a whole because it's one of the OG layer ones, and Jake's talked about it in layer zeros, not layer ones. It's one of the OG layer zeros, so it's going to really be a big player in the space when it comes to what they're trying to do. If you want to know more about DOT, you're going to have to look them up, or maybe we'll talk about them in a future podcast, layer zeros as well. Kava, which is also the next highest one, which is 12%. KSM or Kusama, which is also a big coin, and that's an exchange too, isn't it? Is Kusama coin an exchange? No. Am I going crazy? They give you 8%. USDC, which is a stable coin, gives you 9%, which is probably one of the better ones that I've seen because it's 1-to-1 to the US dollar. VGX, which is their native token, gives you 7%. And Luna, which is a very large layer 1 right now in relation to the race to beat Ethereum, gives you 4% back on your holdings for Luna. You have to qualify by holding a minimum monthly balance in order to get these rewards, depending on which one you choose. So you might have to have, $400 worth of DOT to qualify, or $1,000 worth of USDC to qualify. All of that is on their website that you can look up. For specifically the native VGX tokens, there's 3 tiers that you can do for their card, and there's varying rewards based on how much VGX you hold. There's also a debit card for 9% APY for just holding whatever crypto you have on there through MasterCard. You can cash out anytime for any of these. There's no annual or hidden fee when you trade on this app. And there's actually a reward system, which a lot of them do have a reward system for those that you refer. You get $25 in VGX. You personally, if you're the one that does the referral, you gain $25 in VGX, which again is their native token. And the person that you refer and uses your link gets $25 in Bitcoin. Those people have to trade that you refer $100 worth of tokens before you're both qualified for that, though. So that's VGX, Voyager. We're going to move on to FTX. FTX has a couple advantages, not as many. I personally think that Voyager and Coinbase have kind of the best rewards as a whole, but FTX has one of the lowest trading fees for traders on their platform. There's also advanced trading options to card holders that hold their Visa debit card. They also have NFTs, just like Crypto.com, that they just came out with recently, so something to look at there. But overall, they do not have a lot of incentives. They just have a lot lower trading fees, and there's some rewards that are supposed to come out in relation to their debit card in the future, but right now they don't really have a lot as a whole. Coinbase is one of the better known exchanges. They also have their own wallet, which we'll talk about slightly later, but they are one of the bigger exchanges that people know as a whole. They've probably heard it. It's easy to remember. Coinbase. You earn interest by holding a variety of different coins. The 3 that I thought were the best that I'm going to talk about, so you can earn 3 to 5% back on your Ethereum holdings. You can earn 5% back on your Atom or your Cosmos holdings, and you earn 4.6% on your Tezos holdings, which is a coin that we personally have not talked about before. And I'm going to be honest with you, the only thing that I know about Tezos is that they have their own NFT marketplace. The other two that I added just for the sake of adding are USDC and the DAI, which are 0.15%, which is the same as like shitty savings accounts. So if you're going to do a stable coin, because that's what they are, I would just go back and I would do Voyager, because they have the best one for stable coins. So the thing about Coinbase is that they entice you to win big by signing up for an account. So if you sign up for an account, you're automatically entered to win over $500 million worth of rewards on their website, which is obviously a lot of money, but that's how they incentivize individuals to sign up and make their own account. You get up to 4% cash back. This is probably the best benefit that you get. You get up to 4% cash back when you make a purchase with their debit card on a crypto of your choice. It's specifically set up so that you can only choose a subset of cryptos to actually earn the 4% cash back on. But there's a couple on there that I personally like. I have a Coinbase card. It has not arrived yet, but I have signed up for Stellar Lumens, which is, a coin that I used to own, or a token that I used to own in general. I sold it a long time ago, but it's probably the best one to choose because they kind of chose a couple not so great coins, and I think that one's probably the best one if you're going to sign up for the debit card there, because Ethereum is the next best one, but you only get 1% back instead of 4%. They also have their own native wallet, which I explained earlier. And then in terms of NFTs, it's kind of a question mark up in the air because they started coming out with them and then they rolled that back, and then they started coming out with them and then they rolled that back. So who knows what the hell they're going to do with NFTs, but hopefully they integrate that shortly here. I think they're going to have to, because most of the other major exchanges that have talked about and are going to continue to talk about here do have NFTs. Gemini is going to be the last one. Gemini is probably my personal favorite overall, because I think they offer a lot of good things as a whole in the space, especially for people that are joining and aren't really in the know about what the hell crypto does. You can earn up to 7% APY on a variety of different options for just holding things. Gemini Dollar, which is their 1-to-1 dollar to the US dollar, so it's not supposed to fluctuate. That's what 1-to-1 means. You gain 6.9% per year for holding the Gemini Dollar. Terra USDT, which is the stable coin for Terra Luna, which I discussed earlier, gives you 6.8% cash back, so only your cash back, 6.8 Terra Luna back for holding that specific stable coin. Terra Luna gives you 6.11% cash back. USDC, which is also another stable coin, gives you 6.4%. And then the next best one that I saw was Solana, which is 4.5% for holding. They are using their card. It's actually a credit card. It's not a debit card. It's the only one that I've seen that's a credit card. It gives you 3% cash back on all of your purchases, and you can choose to earn specific crypto for cash back with over 50 plus choices. So there's no limitation, and it's 3% cash back on those purchases. There's no annual fee on the credit card at all. And you gain $10. So if you refer someone, if you have a Gemini account and you refer someone, you gain $10 in Bitcoin. So it's a little less of an incentive all the same though. And this is probably my favorite one for what they offer as a whole for exchanges. They also have their own NFT exchange, which is Nifty Gateway. So that is exchanges in a nutshell. That's all I really have for you tonight here until we get to the end of the podcast. But I'm gonna hand the mic over here to my buddy here, Jake, and he's gonna talk to you about some wallets that you can look into and what wallets are compared to exchanges.
I'm going to cover the different types of wallets you guys can have, what are easy to use, which ones are not so user-friendly that talk to different blockchains, and ones that are strictly provided by a single blockchain and are designed to be used just for holding one certain token. So the most common one right now is MetaMask, that has pretty much any functionality for any crypto. If you don't see one listed on it at the bottom of the MetaMask wallet, you can go down and import any crypto address that you want to if you don't see it. I made the dumb mistake of buying a crypto and got worried that I didn't see it, but I just had to simply go on the bottom of the MetaMask wallet and import the address. The next wallet is Trust Wallet, which I've used quite a bit. It's very compatible and easy to use and connects to pretty much any other app that's provided and has a super easy option to Chrome extensions and other extensions that you can just connect your wallet to. Then there's Phantom Wallet, which I believe is the most user-friendly, but it is Solana's native wallet, so it's meant and orientated towards all their stuff on their own blockchain. Wallets are why you would want to have a wallet as opposed to just holding your crypto on an exchange, because it gives you a more personalized way to hold your assets. I think about it like having cash or simply not having your funds in a bank versus having a wallet in general in real life. If you don't have your card or your cash, or you can't have access to your funds from a bank account, there's various other ways that you can spend and use your crypto. So it's just more of a personalized way to hold and store your tokens. Some people have a strategy of having a hot wallet where they just simply move their funds into another address, and you think of it like hot potato. They just move the tokens in their address and use or connect to a site and buy something, then send it to their full complete wallet that they have. So there's different ways that you can go about having wallets. I personally have a few of them just because when you're going on using different blockchains, and I'll talk about why it's important to have this bridge functionality and why at some point in the future you'll probably only need one wallet, but for the time being, unfortunately, it's the most user-friendly to have a few, and the ones that you think are most effective for the types of crypto that you want to hold. The two main wallets that I talked about with MetaMask and Trust Wallet, them being the most compatible with other blockchains, you can easily stake through those by just going to a app or a website like Aave and connecting your wallet and just being able to move your tokens right onto their exchange. So I recommend just using those to start because they'll give you the most optionality when it comes to staking, if that's something that you're interested in. Now, is it safe? Well, holding your crypto in a wallet is safer compared to having it just sitting on an exchange, because you never know if the exchange might shut down, gets hacked, whereas holding your crypto in your own wallet, they would have to get your seed phrase, or you would have to sign a transaction from a website you may not know. So as a disclaimer, make sure you guys don't just go ahead and sign transactions without doing some research through your wallet. And then the safest way would be to move your crypto from a wallet, not an exchange, or moving it straight from an exchange to a cold storage, one that's not connected to the internet. Then as far as using browsers for a wallet, the best browser you can use is Brave browser. And another one you can guys check out is Opera GX. Both Brave and Opera GX are designed for crypto users and have tons of features for security. So I would recommend both of those along with the wallet option as opposed to just holding your crypto on an exchange. A quick rundown of the wallets that I just mentioned: MetaMask, Trust Wallet, Phantom. And then the native token wallets that I didn't really dig deep into is Kepler, and Engine has one. So a lot of these blockchains incentivize you to get their wallet, but they also have more features for holding that token. They probably have some staking options and other features that you can use for their own wallet.
Phantom has 7% stake for Solana.
Jake just informed me that if you have Solana with Phantom or in your Phantom wallet, then there's a 7% staking option for that. So they just give you more bonus points for using their wallet and having that token in their wallet. The difference of custodial versus non-custodial: a custodial wallet is connected to an exchange. there is a Coinbase Pro wallet or a Coinbase wallet, which is directly tied to Coinbase. And then you have non-custodial wallets, which aren't connected to an exchange. And those offer a wide selection and different things you can connect and use with and are more compatible than strictly custodial wallets. If you're looking to stake any of your crypto through a wallet, just make sure you double check on how long those cryptos are locked for, because there is some cryptos where you have to stake for a certain time period. You earn rewards during that time period yet, but it's not as when you stake anything, it's not liquid because usually you have to choose a time frame for how long you want to use it. So just make sure that you double check the time that it's staked for, and you don't need those funds before you stake it. Now that I covered the jazz with the crypto wallets, let's talk about some bridging. What is bridging? So in essence, bridging is being able to move your assets from one blockchain to another. We have seen the rise of bridging the last 2 years. It's recently new technology. The importance of bridging is to obtain more users from other blockchains, and this can bring in multiple teams together to work on one complete goal, and that is the overall adoption of crypto to the masses. So bridging is the most important aspect that we're lacking and is getting built on the most in bringing the masses to crypto. I like to think of it, it's like going to McDonald's and you want to buy a Sprite, but you have your wallet and you say, shit, you forgot your debit card or something. So you have some cash. Well, being able to buy cryptos on another blockchain will give you more accessibility without having to exchange your funds. And it's more hassle without having to do all of that, where you can just use one crypto and swap it for another. Makes it really easy for the seamlessness of it and just user access, user friendliness. And that's what it's going to take to get crypto to the main stage of adoption. The pros of bridging are user friendliness and just a seamless overall integration of transactions across blockchains. This is a billion-dollar industry, but with that comes a lot of cons too, and the main con is security. Because you're doing more loopholes for transactions, there's more ways for hackers to find exploits in the blockchain and secure funds doing that. With this being out for 2 years now, there has been $1.57 billion in total value lost. So that's a big number. In the future, you can expect more of these to happen as it matures. But overall, at the end of it, they're going to find all the problems that come with it and have it completely solved at some point. The average transaction speed takes about 10 minutes while you bridge, but some can take longer. At current state, bridging is very centralized because it needs to be with a core team overseeing a bridge in order to keep it working and keep it very secure. Bridging, when you bridge an asset, it's essentially like minting an NFT. When you bridge it, it locks that price for the crypto and mints those new tokens across a new blockchain. So if I take my Ethereum and go to Binance, or take my Ethereum, go on a bridge, and want to bridge it over to Binance, it will mint that price that I send over the transaction, and it will move it to Binance, and it will be pegged to the same price that I use for bridging. So you don't lose any value when you bridge. It just simply is a minted price at the current standing of the crypto. I've said a few disclaimers. Make sure that before I cover all these bridges, make sure you do more research on them, as I have not used all of them. When you bridge in general, make sure you double check and you understand all the implications of what it means moving your assets from one blockchain to another. Because if you've been in crypto long enough, you know that once those funds are sent, it's very hard to get them back. I really look forward to the time when a routing network of bridges, an overall router, connects everything, all the blockchains together. All the transactions are flawless, smooth, one crypto to another. They're all trust and built in, and the fast adoption of crypto will be at our doorstep. There's many different popular bridges in the space. I'll be covering those. And the first one I'll look at is Atom with the Gravity Bridge. This is a recently new one and is going to introduce more of Atom's IBCs with it, which is inter-blockchain communication. Atom has some of the most unique way of cryptos talking to one another, and I think is going to be one of the biggest players in the space when it comes to bridges. There's Near with the Rainbow Bridge, which I have not used myself. There's 3 popular ones on Solana, which is Allbridge, Wormhole, and Soleil. Wormhole had a huge hack on it. Wormhole also works with Ethereum. There was 320 million of funds that were exploited from the bridge, but they recovered those funds through a bug bounty which is posting a ransom for the hacker to return the funds, and in turn they give them a reward with no penalty or perjury of criminal action. How can they solve the problem of security? Well, they can have hackathons which bring 200 or 300 people together, and they look through the problems on the bridge, and whoever finds the most exploits on the bridge wins a reward. So there's a lot of ways that they can, as much as hacks suck and usually lose funds, it's important for the bridge to work past those because it finds the small workarounds that are overlooked. Avalanche then has Pangolin, which is a very nice one. I've used that one myself. It's very easy to use. Phantom has AnySwap, which is the main one, and Multichain, which is another very popular one. Synapse has many cross-chain options for their bridging, but I recently used Synapse for the DFK chain mainnet on DeFi Kingdoms, and it was super easy to use. So bridging, as scary as it sounds, moving assets from one blockchain to another, can be very easy because like a DEX, you click the crypto you want and the other crypto you want, and the bridge works in the background, so you don't get to see a lot of the work taking action, but it's super user friendly and will only continue to grow as they gain more technology for the space. Then lastly, Ethereum uses any EVM compatible network. So if you have a wallet and you want to move your Ethereum from one chain to another, if it's EVM compatible, you can simply just swap your Ethereum into a compatible blockchain with it that's EVM compatible. They do have things like Seller Network, which you can move your ETH from layer 1 to layer 2. All this would be so you can use less gas when moving your Ethereum to another blockchain that's EVM compatible. An example, you can move your ETH to Binance. Doing this would give you more optionality to the apps on Binance and allows you to get the user access to all the things they may offer. That's the whole premise of bridging, is to be able to use different apps on the blockchains that might not be available on one or the other. What does this mean for DeFi in general? So right now there's an arms race on who can have the best bridge and who can give the most for total value locked. An example is Aave is one of the biggest device staking and lending protocols. If they have more chains that they can bring and more users, they can increase the total value locked on their chain. This brings in more users because they say, hey, look where everybody else is staking and gaining the most yield. And this is just appeasement for other people to bring in more funds and liquidity to staking options that can bring strength and security to the overall protocols. Like I said, there's a current arms race on who can have the best bridge and bring on the most chains for the staking options for DeFi. Right now, CurveDAO is leading because they offer the most functionality of chains with about 7 different options. Lido is second, and they only have 4, where Anchor has 2, Avalanche, and UST. So you can see whoever has the most bridging options for multiple blockchains is able to succeed in the total value locked and increase their liquidity pools and offer the best APYs across the board for their overall staking options. So I think in the next 5 years that this list will look a lot different. I consider Atom probably going to lead the charge with their IBC model and how they allow other crypto blockchains to talk to another. And then I expect probably Avalanche with their subnets. You can check out the total value locked on defyllama.com. This is where I got a lot of my information. It just allows you to see how much people are moving and bridging from one asset to another. I found it interesting that DeFi Kingdoms has their own bridge, even though it's under an Avalanche subnet, and they have their own total value locked. DeFi Llama is, in that sense, it can be objective to the total value locked number because DeFi Kingdoms is on a Avalanche subnet, but it isn't included in their total value. Bridges are the future of the space as a whole, and it's one of the most exciting things in the crypto space that I'm looking forward to. Let me know in the comments if you think another crypto is going to pass one another in the top 5 on who will get the most total value locked. That's my segment for bridging. I hope you guys learned something. So we're not going to eat cheese curds today. Why? Because I started a new workout program. Jake was a little salty at me, but I'm doing 75 hard. For you guys that don't know, it's 75 days of 1 gallon of water, 1 progress picture each day, 1 workout, 45-minute workout outside, 1 45-minute workout inside, 10 pages of reading, and that's it. That's all you got to do. And no cheat meals or no alcohol.
So, the no alcohol part would be very difficult for me. I'm going to be honest. I think it's awesome that he's doing that. I was salty, though, because obviously the podcast is called Curds and Crypto, but that's a good segue into the fact that we were talking about a possible rebrand anyway. I kind of mentioned this at the beginning of the news a little bit. More details to come out on that later for, again, our 3 listeners, but, you know, in general, I think that the rebrand can be a really good thing. It's not like we have like the largest following in the world or anything like that yet, so it's a good time to do it. So we're going to be most likely rebranding here. You'll see updates on that throughout the week as soon as I get everything squared away with the couple people that I'm talking to for logos and so on and so forth.
Bitcoin's at 43 today.
43.
Not a great number considering we were at 47 2 days ago? Yesterday?
Yeah, it was 2 days ago. It's 2 days ago. It's got to hold 42,500. I've said that in the past. I've posted that on my Twitter. If Bitcoin holds 42,500, we're good. If it doesn't hold 42,500, it's kind of up in the air on if it's gonna either bounce back up or if it's gonna go down to what do you think? Probably 38.
38 if it doesn't bounce.
Yeah.
So do you think it's gonna hold at 42, or you think it's gonna crash down?
Most likely, it's probably gonna go down. I think that's the most likely. The way the trend is right now, with the way just from looking at different graphs today on CoinMarketCap, and I was looking at Voyager's too.
What type of graphs you look at, like pie charts and stuff?
No, I don't look at pie charts. I look at line graphs. Pie charts are way too sophisticated for me. I look at line graphs.
Oh, you're talking about charts.
Yeah, charts, not graphs.
Okay.
I do look at some graphs, but usually they're too hard to comprehend, so. But I was looking at line bars on the different places on the internet about Bitcoin, and it just isn't looking too hot for holding right now. So my best guess from educating myself with those bar lines is that it's going to go down under 42,500.
I'm the counter. I think 42 holds and we go up. Late shorters get wrecked and we push higher faster.
I like the difference in opinion. That's good for the podcast.
Late shorters, consider yourself warned.
Overall, though, I think the market is in a pretty good place. There's been a lot of positive news coming out with it. Obviously some negative, but the entire time there's always going to be negative news coming out. But, you know, I don't think a traditional bear market is in the picture anymore. I think that is a thing that's not going to function as it has in the past in like 2018 to 2020. Bear market is the term has changed because realistically I really don't believe that Bitcoin is going to drop any more than down to like 32K, and it's going to fluctuate between, you know, 32 or 38 or whatever it decides to hold at, and then probably like 52 for the next couple months.
What's your worst case price
28.
for Bitcoin?
I don't think it can go lower than 28 because we didn't see 28 when everyone was scared as fuck. a month ago.
Mine's like 18.
Dude, that's wild. I don't think I could go to 18, dude. That's like 2019 numbers.
Never say never.
I
I don't think it does, but I'm just saying, absolutely worst case, I could see like $18,000 Bitcoin, maybe like a $900 ETH again.
No way.
Like pre-COVID.
That's
Pre-COVID
that's
lows.
like January levels in like 2019 or 2020.
Another fucking coronavirus mutation to like the zombie variant.
Oh man, you can fucking DayZ up in this shit, dude.
Be worse problems than crypto dropping to 18, and
That's true, dude. We just have to hide in our basement for the rest of the days, dude. Well, I mean, I guess it depends on what kind of variant it is. If it's traveling through the air, you're kind of fucked.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't have that much money to my name. It's not like I can just like purchase things on the internet constantly and like live in my basement more than I already do.
Yeah, just stay in your mom's basement if the zombie comes, and you'll be fine.
Well, what if it's in the air? They don't have to bite you. If it's fucking
Oh,
coronavirus
shit. Yeah,
Z,
if it's
you're
in that.
dead, dude.
Oh god, that's even worse. So did you buy anything last week?
Yes, I did. I purchased, so I'm in a variety of different projects, but the space that I'm definitely most integrated in is the NFT space on Solana for one-to-one NFT artists. I've talked about that in the past on our podcast number 6 for NFT Spring, but I bought between 7 or 8 NFTs this last week, and with a variety of different creators in the space. Timepilots.soul is one of the ones that I really love because I got to collab on his first honorary pilot, which is my profile picture on Twitter now, which is fucking awesome. Zippy.soul or Zippy Soul, I don't remember if it's .soul.
Zippy Soul?
Yeah, Zippy Soul is pretty cool one too that I got. It reminds me of the kids' book Harold and the Purple Crayon.
Time Pilot, Zippy Soul. Okay, I gotta remember those.
Yep, Wandering Spirit was the one that you liked.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
The Wandering Spirits I thought were cool.
Yeah.
I thought your cool puppet was
Yeah.
pretty badass.
So
too.
the cool,
Not to give you a spoiler, but
yeah, Cool Puppet X Unseen collab. They came out with an NFT together. That was pretty fucking cool. I got that for 1.25 Soul, which was a fucking steal. Flower Cats. That one's a little different from what I usually look at, but it's in the same kind of artist space that I'm currently in, and who I kind of associate with on Twitter. And they came out with one that was a little different compared to the ones that they came out with before that I was watching. I call it the first Dirty Cat. So I purchased it because it's the name of the NFT is literally 420, and I think it's fucking awesome.
it's fitting. Maybe you should get high on 420 and look at your Dirty Cat.
Yeah, dude. There you go. The last
So
one.
you bought a bunch of NFTs.
Yeah, I bought a bunch of NFTs. Last one I didn't mention, which I want to mention, is the Warlock NFTs. I got Warlock number 16, which is Drachin, or how do you think you say that?
Drachin.
Drachin.
That's how I would say
Elder
it.
of Sephran.
He's the elder.
Yeah, so that one's cool because if you purchase it, you get invited to a private Discord for Warlock holders, and I thought that was fucking cool. So I bought a bunch of NFTs this last week, and that's what I did. I still haven't gotten a Ramanya yet. That shit, when I bid on it, went up to 3.5 Soul.
When ramen?
When ramen.
When do you get to eat your ramen?
Whenever the fuck I can snag one, dude. This next one that's on here actually is it's music based, so it has like music background to it. It's a pretty cool one, and it actually plays the music from Ecruteak City in Pokemon Crystal, Gold, and Silver in the background. And actually, I'm proud of myself. I fucking guessed that shit. I was like, you could put this on the back of the background of a Pokemon, like a town in Pokemon, and the creator that did the music was like, good guess, dude. It was fucking Ecruteak City.
That shows that shows your true nerdy side.
I know, dude, and it's a pixel game. Pokemon's a pixel game, so and these are all pixel. These are most of them. I shouldn't say all of them. So Zippy Soul is not pixel, but most of these individuals that I'm talking about are all.
You're a big pixel guy?
Yeah, I'm a big pixel guy.
All right, well, sounds like you got a lot of NFTs.
Yeah. What did you buy?
I bought Nier and Vulcan Forged and more Crystal.
I also bought Crystal because you told me to.
I added more liquidity to the Jewel X Jewel pool because I'm pretty bullish I'm still trying to figure out all the mechanics of crystal and why that holds higher value. But I'm more bullish on Jewel still.
Yeah, I think Jewel has better utility overall.
I just like the Jewel X Jewel pool because it gives me exposure. I have enough Avalanche already. Even though those APRs are juicy, I just wanted the exposure of the Jewel X Jewel pool. But I will be interested to see what like incentivization they give because they are adding incentivization for the APR on the AVAX Crystal pool. Mm-hmm. So holders of that will be rewarded.
Which is why I did what you told me to do, and I did exactly that.
That's good. I mean, I want it. It's just hard to allocate to everything you want.
Yeah, you have everything in one.
But I like Nier's strength, and I think Nier will be in the top 10 someday. And Vulcan Forge got killed by that hack a few months ago, and it's just been bleeding since then and finally caught some bidding. I'm looking short-term 23, but with the recent market, it's been taking a dump because it's been such a... Because it was like a top gainer for a few days, it dropped hard as hell today, but I think it's at like 14 or 15. It got all the way up to like 19.
Yeah, so it's up there.
I mean, well, I'm still hopeful that we bounce at 42, but if it doesn't, I'm just a bag holder like everybody else.
Yep, I'm just a bag holder. I ain't fucking leaving now. I mean, I'm pretty much stuck. We're all stuck in this together.
Well, I think that's all I had for you guys today.
Yeah, I think that's all I had too. I'll say I also bought Nier. That's it. Because I also really like that L1.
We're both on the Nier train.
Yeah, we're on the Nier train.
We're running on the Nier train.
I'm going to start buying Nier NFTs too.
Look at the Nier NFTs. If Nier's running, you know other stuff's running in the ecosystem, so